The engine is starting up.
For launch. GC. Go. Guidance. Go. Fido. Go. Prop. Go. GNC. Go. Max. Go. Eagle. Go. Ecom.
Go pending final steps to cabin link check.
3, 2, 1.
Is there anyone here that would like to communicate with us? Can you give us a sign?
Welcome to the R.I.F.T Nation Network, the RNN, putting a slide in your glide and a dip in your hip. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe. With shows throughout the week, you can find us at Instagram, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and more. Everything you could want, everything you could need right here, right now. From the paranormal to the supernatural. From comedy to the spiritual. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
It's showtime, folks!
Podcast may contain material that some listeners may find sensitive, offensive, or disturbing. We strive to create respectful and informative content, but topics discussed may include mature themes such as violence, explicit language, or controversial subjects, triggering content including discussions related to mental health, trauma, or other sensitive issues, explicit language. Occasionally, our guests or hosts may use strong language. While we aim to handle these topics with care and empathy, we encourage listeners to exercise discretion. If you find any content distressing, consider skipping or seeking support.
Hello, welcome to Mysteries Beyond the Scenes. I am your host, Joni Skinner, and we are streaming live tonight on Facebook, Twitch, Rumble, and YouTube. Welcome to another show of Mysteries Beyond the Scenes. Hi, Keith. How are you? I'm like looking at the chat going, where is everybody? But then I thought, you know what? It's summer. People are on vacation. There's just so much going on right now. So I hope everybody's doing well. And I hope you can hear me okay, Keith, because usually we've got everybody on the chat, but that's okay. We'll go ahead and hopefully if you are busy or on vacation, you can tune in. This will be on YouTube or on Facebook if you can't catch the live show. So I hope everybody's doing well. I'll put a hello in here, Keith. How are you, Keith? Thank you for sharing out there. Okay, we'll see if that's working. I can't show your comments, Keith. So there's something weird going on. I hope you can hear me okay. I'll go ahead. The stream is going live, so we'll go live. I know when you come on loud and clear. Okay. I can't put your it won't let me put your comments up, and I don't know why. Let me try to. Okay, we'll just do that. We won't put anything in the back. I don't know why. It won't let me put your comments up, Keith, to see your comments. So I don't know why that's not working. But that's okay. That's okay. Itchy just got out of the garden. I know. It's the middle of summer. Everybody's on vacation. It's August. We're right smack dab in the middle of August. And like I said, it's the dog days of summer. And it's a weird astrological summer. And as many of you can tell, there's a lot of mental health issues going on with people with true crime and a lot of mental issues. And I'm going to say, oh, Keith, hello, Mercury. Mercury will be officially out of retrograde this weekend. Hello, Miss Crystal. How are you? I hope you can hear me. I can't put anybody's comments up on the chat. And Crystal, usually our chat, I said to Keith, what's going on? Because usually the chat's going crazy with Linda and Denise. And I mean, I don't know, but it's the middle of summer. But I've got a really good show tonight planned. So, Crystal, chime in when I show this chart and I get into the story because it is true crime. And Crystal is also an astrologer. Crystal is one of the admins on my on Astrology, the series on Facebook. So if you're interested in learning basic astrology, any kind of astrology, please go to Facebook, Astrology, the series. It's a private group that we have. And we have people that do not know anything about astrology. We have astrologers like Crystal that are in the group. We have Ruru. Ruru's usually on here too, Crystal, every Wednesday, but it's summer. That's okay. So please join our group. We would love to have you. We're doing a mini session at the end of August on eclipses. Now, I do mini sessions once a month in the group, and we just get together on like a Saturday or a Sunday evening and just chat about astrology. And Keith, I'm going to try to put your comments up, Keith. And I don't know if Crystal, it's not letting me do it. Okay. Keith says the mental issues are a thing. If anybody feels they need help, go seek it. It's okay. It really is. Neptune and Saturn right now, which are two of our big outer planets, Neptune rules mental illness. Neptune has been kind of on a really wacky journey this year. Neptune has gone from out of 14 years. Okay. So now it's in Aries. It is in retrograde now, going back into Pisces. I think that's a lot of the mental illness. Neptune rules mental illness. It's traveling with Saturn right now, which is restricting. Saturn is authoritarian. So that energy, anybody that's got mental illnesses, I work with someone that's a therapist, and she just did all of her graduate work. And, it's her phone just won't stop ringing. So I agree with Keith. If you need anybody to talk to, seek help. Whether it's a therapist, whether it's a spiritualist, whether it is an astrologer, I'm kidding. And anybody, if you feel something, because it's a thing. I'm seeing it like crazy. Hello, Miss Denise. How are you? It's summer, Denise. We're ready. I love summer. So we've got, I don't know how it is up in Canada, Denise, but down here, it's every day there is some kind of a pow going on. We had it in New York last week. 2 weeks, New York City, we had a pow incident. Today, one of our army bases, multiple, five military people were injured by somebody. And, the true crime that I'm seeing now, there are no motives. People are just losing their minds. And I don't know if it's the change of energy. I don't know. We knew in January, I said to Carrie Lynn, people are going to be losing their stuff. I didn't say stuff. I said SHIT. I said people are this summer, people are going to literally be losing their stuff. And she's like, why? And I'm like, because the energy is just so out of control. So anybody that is on that borderline, man, just if you have a family member or a friend, check on them. Definitely check on people with mental issues right now. Neptune goes back into, I think maybe Crystal, maybe you can help me with this one. I'm guessing that when Pisces gets back, when Neptune gets into Pisces, things may calm down a little bit. We're not going to have the clarity that we're having now. I think people are getting bombarded with so much clarity and so much, I don't know. I think turn off the media, because that's just inciting a lot of misinformation, and I think a lot of violence. Turn it off. Turn it off. And I think people that are not mentally stable is a good word. People that are not mentally stable right now are just losing their stuff. So that's what I think. I don't know. What do you think, Crystal, with Neptune? Neptune in Aries is tough. When Neptune moves into Aries, it's like no more victimhood. Now you're going to stand up on your own 2 feet. Aries energy is the warrior, and Aries energy is go. It's impulsive. It's the warrior. It revs people up. It takes them to the edge. So if you've got people that are coming out of Neptune and Pisces, which was laid back and calmer and in a dream state, and now these people with mental issues are hitting Aries energy, they're losing it. And it's very violent. So see, because Aries energy like that will show up in violence. Very violent. A lot of pow. Keith, I've had some mental health days. Yeah, but you're okay. You know what I mean? You're not like borderline on the edge of really, you know what I mean? Like what we're seeing in true crime right now. It's off the cuff. So let me get started. Hello, Miss Lee. How are you? I'm late, was on a call. No problem. It's summer, girl. I hope everybody's doing well. We are streaming live on the R.I.F.T Nation Network every Wednesday evening. I am a forensic astrologer, where we do event charts with astrology to help solve crimes, help locate missing persons, and we look at cases and how the astrology and the event astrology can go into some cases. Now, this particular case is very, very sad. I think you guys, oh, here's Keith. My God, the X's are everywhere. That's a retrograde. Mercury retrograde. Now, X's come back during Mercury retrograde and during eclipse season. X's come back into your life twice. Mercury retrograde and eclipse. How's Joni? And Joni's great. As you can tell in the background, the kitchen is getting remodeled. So hopefully by next Wednesday, it will be a different color. It's going to be light gray. It's primered now. Mudded and primered. Remember, it was orange. Now it's white. So I'm excited, kind of getting a little bit of a I don't know. It's getting a little remodel look. So, but let's get started, you guys, on our true crime case. This is a very, very sad case. Okay, Keith, I'm trying to. I can't get any of the comments to pop up. That soul shard popping back in, hit a bit in training, catch up mode. What? There are thoughts are not good all the time, but I see you do. Hello, Miss Denise. This has been a recent incident. Oh, is this by you? Death and arson. Bracebridge. The individual with the ongoing arson investigation in Bracebridge has been confirmed on August 1st at approximately 8 p.m. I wish I could post this. I can't. Resident fully engulfed in flames. Holy cow. Died of a pow pow. Shelter in place was lifted. Wow. Cause of unalive was smoke inhalation. Second individual, female, died of a pow pow. Looks like a suicide homicide up in Canada in collaboration with the Office of the Chief Coroner. Holy cow. See, I'm telling you, you guys, it's wild right now. Hi, Miss Linda. It's crazy. So like I said, it's even crazy up by you, Denise. Jeez, that's scary. It looks like a suicide homicide. You know, I work in a town called Beatrice. Yeah, Keith works in Beatrice. Hi, Linda. How are you? You know, big stuff everywhere. It is happening everywhere, and it's every day. And you know what's funny is, you know, I'm so tired of hearing about the Epstein stuff. We have looked at Epstein charts and Ghislaine, Maxwell's chart, Epstein's charts till we're blue in the face. I don't even know. I'm going to look at his chart again because I'm starting to think now that he's alive. I don't know. Maybe it's because it's summer. I just think he might be. I don't know. But what has happened with him is, and nobody seems to, they're losing sight of the whole Epstein story. Did you all know that he had an office at Harvard College? And I've studied Epstein for decades. He had an office at Harvard College, Epstein. He donated millions and millions of dollars to Harvard. He had an office at Harvard. Not only was he weird, and we know what he did with victims, he was into transhumanism. And he was also into the stuff that is very, you know, with, I can't say the C word that we all went on lockdown with. He was into that. He, they are finding out now that the evening before his death, if you guys recall, he was on the phone. Wasn't supposed to be on the phone. He said it was his mother, but his mother had not been alive for a long time. He was into the transhuman vaccines, a lot of scientific research, a lot with the one guy, BG, that nobody likes him. They were together with that. There's a lot of underlying issues with him. You know, here is a man that came from zero money, no money whatsoever, and was moving money, billions of dollars, the day before he unalived into his personal accounts. They have found that out. 2 different banks all around the world was moving money. It could have been clients. We don't know. He was hired as a teacher in a prestigious school in New York, but yet didn't go to college. Wasn't a teacher. So there's a lot of underlying things with him that we don't know about that's getting lost in the chaos. So hopefully that'll calm down. I don't think, like we said, and we've said it before, even on our show, There was never a list. There was never a list. Ghislaine had a book of clientele that he did. He knew people people wanted to be around him. He did a lot of work with a lot of philanthropists to get money for transhuman weird stuff. So that book that they're talking about is under seal. It's under seal because her case is up on appeal. So for her to go and people think she is going to testify is crazy. Her case is on appeal. I'm going to tell you something about her case. They brought in 2 victims to her case. She was never interviewed by the feds. Never one time was she questioned. She was never questioned by the feds. Now, as much of a monster as we think they are, they still have equal rights under the law. So this is going to be interesting as it unfolds. Keith says the word is running gins and, oh yeah, absolutely he was. And money. I don't know. We're going to have to see what happens. Denise said there's a lot of car crashes as well with the wildfires, earthquakes, and volcanoes. I know, it's crazy. Okay, you guys, it is crazy. It should calm down. It should begin to calm down a little. I said that to Keith 2 weeks ago, a little bit. We've shifted all the planets that we have to shift, but man, people are losing their stuff. It's the energy. But this is a very sad story. I'm sure you guys heard about this. I don't know if you did, Denise, up there or not, but we have a couple in front of us, Clinton and Kristen Brink. Okay. Now, the Brinks, this is where we're at. This is where the crime occurred. If you look at the red arrow in a little area in Arkansas called Springdale. They have beautiful parks. They have beautiful state parks, areas. And what happened is the Brinks family, 3 daughters, they had moved about 2 weeks prior to deciding to go out on a trail and go out for the afternoon on a Saturday because Clinton got a new job, started a new job. They had just moved into Arkansas about 10, 15 days. We're not quite too sure. So they decided to take the afternoon and go to Devil's Den State Park, which is right up around the Springdale area. A lot of hiking trails. And as you can see, oh, wait, I missed one. Okay, there we go. There's the visitor center. So keep that in mind, where I marked that spot where the visitor center is. And you can see there's trails all around that area. Devil's Den cabins, there's trails all around this beautiful area. It's a beautiful, look at this state park. It's lovely. So Devil's Den State Park in Arkansas, they took their daughters 7 and 9 around 2 o'clock in the afternoon to go for a hike. They just moved into the area. Around 2:30 in the afternoon, they were attacked. And this is an actual photograph of the attacker from the state park. That is a composite sketch from witnesses that saw him on the trail with blood on his face. He was dressed funny. You know how hot it's been? He had a big backpack. He had on dressed all in black. And the couple that were walking their dog said they just didn't like his energy. There was just something off about him. So what we have come to find out, that this perp attacked this family. One person attacked this family. So what happened is the mother, Kristen, ran her 2 daughters up to the visitors center to safety. Kristen ran her while the attack is going on. Kristen had the wherewithal in her mind to get her daughters to safety, 7 and 9. So she gets the kids up to the visitor center. She goes back to the crime scene. Kristen goes back to help her husband. And ultimately, the two perished from this attack. So we have two unalive people on a trail. This is his back, the back head of his. Now look at this. Look at this composite. This composite's pretty darn good to the guy that they got. So what happened is we have a manhunt for about a week that went on looking for this man. A huge manhunt. Here's the trail that was closed down. Here they are, just a lovely couple. So a witness saw a man with on his face in the report. So due diligence by the police. I got to give them credit on this one. Due diligence. And they were very, very, and I didn't really keep up with this case on social media because I knew they would find this guy. They were working very, very hard. You know, they were asking for ring cameras, asking people if they please check your ring cameras. There was a black car that they had noticed, and to keep your eyes open. They gave out the composite drawing. The police, oh, and another thing they noticed about this black car is this guy had put tape over his license plate. So the police found the car a week later. They tracked him down going into a beauty shop. He goes in, there's a camera shots of him going into the beauty shop to get his hair cut and get his hair changed. I guess maybe to change his identity around a little bit, I guess. So 4 days later, and this was a manhunt, he is arrested in this beauty shop. Springdale, so if we look at the map, down at the bottom of the map is where Devil's Den is, where the attack occurred. We didn't know until recently that they were indeed stabbed. So at the crime scene, they did get DNA. And with the astrology charts, we look at mileage. The mileage says 35 miles away. So let's take a look at the astrology. Okay, here's the chart. Here we go. Here is the chart. Now, I used highlighters to help you guys see it a little bit better. So I used orange is the victims. So the orange highlighter is for Scorpio. The ascendant is Scorpio. So Pluto and Mars are the two planets that rule Scorpio. So they have two. And then, of course, the moon. We always use the moon is the co-ruler. So if you notice, Mars and the moon are up. The moon is in the 10th house, which is the victims out in the open. When it's up by the MC, or we know they're up out in the open. Okay. Mars in the 11th house. So that would be, okay, social groups, gatherings. What's going on here? We look down at where Mars would be the violent attack. The violent attack. As we look down, we see good old Neptune, Saturn, which, it's showing up a lot on the crime charts. The perp is like a yellow. The perp is in yellow, which is Taurus. And Venus is the ruler, yellow, perp. 8th house, which is the house that would show the death. So he's up in the house of death. But we go down, and in the 5th house, we've got Neptune, Saturn hitting Mars. So Mars was our violent attack, and look at that. Venus is connected right to the Saturn Mars, which clearly mental, that there's your trigger with, and I keep seeing this with the mental illness on true crime charts. It's crazy. It's craziness. So we see, and the mileage was 33 miles. So when we look at the AC, we take the AC and the IC, we add them together, and that's going to give us miles. It's going to either give us 33 miles, 3.3 miles, or 0.3. In this case, it was 35 miles. So there we go. There we've got it. So this perp, and let me tell you about this guy. This guy is let me see, I forgot to tell you about him. He was arrested. Now, what's weird, no record that we can find. No record that we can find. 28 years old. He's a teacher. He is a teacher. He has had 4 teaching positions in Texas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. He got hired on at a school in Springdale and has not started the school year yet. His last job in 2023, he was placed on administrative leave for not being professional. He's a 28-year-old. So this guy's had 4 teaching jobs in the past 4 years. And the school said he passed all the background checks, everything. So what happened here? I mean, I'm not going to say anything about somebody's physical appearance, but man, that's kind of scary. It's creepy. I don't know, maybe because we know what he did. And there he is, getting his hair cut. They went in and arrested him. Yeah, 33. It was 33 miles from the state park, Keith, up to Springdale. It says 35, but the chart says 33. I did not have his exact address. Okay, so there's the chart. Let's look at the mapping. Wait till you see this. So we know that the couple, I didn't have an exact address for the couple. I agree, Lois. He looks scary. I can't put your comments up, you guys. It won't let me show your comments. I don't know why. Maybe it's my laptop. Cindy says, hi, Lois. He was aware of what he did if he thought to adjust his appearance. Just thinking of cognitive. Oh my gosh, that is scary. I know it. He looks scary. I'm 28 years old. What happened? So here's the map. So in the middle of the map is the Devil's Den State Park. Middle of the afternoon. Pierre, they lived, see the little diamond shape? That's where the couple and the family lived. Now, the 7 and 9-year-old daughters are safe. They are with family members. And there was another daughter that was not there. So they live in Prairie Grove. He lives up in Springdale. So see the circle, that 33 miles is just right about perfect. So here we go. So I took the circle off. So the bottom circle is where Devil's Den is. The diamond circle is where the family lived. And then he was caught up at the top of the map. Look at this. So there's where they lived. There's Devil's Den. Look at that, right at Spring Grove. So I don't know where he was hiding for 4 days. He lived in Springdale, not Spring Grove, Springdale. So those lines, when we get an address, maybe with an arrest warrant or some court papers come out, I'm going to look and see if the lines went to his house, because they sure went close to the beauty salon. Look at that. Look at how close that line went to the beauty salon. So I just wonder if he lived over in that area where the lines are, because that's pretty darn close. So there we have it. Once again, the astrology is so accurate with mapping. It's frightening. Now, as you can see over on the left of the chart, that's where the numbers come from, where I map this. So, for example, the sun looks like the sun that was in Leo that day. Leo always is, I think 180 degrees. I'm not sure. So whatever Leo, like 0 is Aries, Taurus is 30, Gemini is 60, Cancer is 90, Leo is 120. So you take 120 degrees, the 4 degrees it goes in increments of 30. And you take the 4 degrees that Leo was in, so that it looks like it's 144 degrees. That's the bearings from the map. So it's all mathematical. So you start in the middle, and that's the bearing of where the sun was at the time of his death. So it's very mathematical to map. I think it says 144. I think. It's 144. So we have Leo and Leo. So 144 and 149 are together. But the Aries, the Saturn line in Aries, the Saturn Neptune lines are the lines that went up to where he lived. So that's where I'm kind of thinking the Saturn Neptune energy. These are the two lines that represent Saturn and Neptune up at the top. There they are. That's Saturn and Neptune. And the beauty shop is where they arrested him is the pin. That's where he was arrested, at the beauty shop. So the Saturn Neptune lines took us to where he was. So that's why I kind of keep thinking that all of these incidents that are occurring, that's the Saturn Neptune line. Isn't that crazy? Absolutely crazy. So that's what I said when, with this, if you know somebody that's got mental issues right now, I think this is the trigger of what's going on with people right now, is this particular energy where the green is down in the 5th. As you can tell, it's in the 5th house, which is, again, and then last week, our true crime was in the 5th house. It's places where people enjoy going, to a park, to anywhere where they enjoy things. So it's got to be this energy in Aries, and it's all of the things that are occurring. It's happening with people that are losing their that had mental issues, or mental things are happening with them. It's the Neptune Saturn. 2 weeks ago with the New York, that guy, medication was in his car, and the one with Denise, look at that one. So it's got to be this Neptune. It's got to be. And that's the energy. That's the lines. So it's a very, very sad story with some people that are losing their, I don't know. I'm not going to give the guy an excuse. The guy was not right, all moved around a lot. We still don't know a lot about him. They're keeping it hush hush. I don't know what happened on social media. I do know that at one of the press conferences, the spokesperson, I don't know if it was the chief or the lieutenant from the police department, said social media was just, it hindered this investigation horribly, with a lot of the rumor mills and the rumors and some things that were said that, anytime a case like this breaks, tips, they have a tip line. They have to check out every single tip. So, a lot of rumor mills were started through social media. So they weren't too kind about the social media community, which, there's pros and there's cons with, it gets the word out. It shows people. We had that 4 people, and I'm going to do that case next week in Tennessee that were shot. A person saw on social media the guy's picture and saw him out and called authorities. So, and from the news and from social media, etc. So there are a lot of pros to social media. It comes with the territory. So I think for they can get mad, but people are going to have the rumor mill's going to go. You just ignore that and put the facts out, and you don't, because I think that there's a lot more positive that comes out of the social media, and people that are do true crime reports get the information out on the waves, and I think it helps. I think they catch a lot of people through that. This was good police work as well. I don't know what happened on social media as far as rumors go. I know, like that case up in Canada, that poor case with the 2 young children, that's got so many rumors going on, it's not even funny. But you just keep plugging away at it. You keep putting information out, and you keep plugging away at your investigation. Lois, it is insane. It is insane. It's crazy right now. Like I said, we got to just take care of people that we know have mental issues and look out for them. I I hope mental facilities come back and people get the help that they need, because it's rampant right now. Hopefully we will be a little bit calmer with this eclipse season come. I'm worried about eclipse season with it. And we have a full moon coming up. We have a big, bold full moon coming up this weekend. So that's not going to help their energy. It's not going to calm things down. It's just going to, it's in Leo, which makes it very bold. So we've got a full moon and eclipse with Neptune and Saturn in retrograde. Good luck. Just be careful. Keep your eyes open. I mean, at least be very aware of your surroundings. I don't care where you're at, because it's weird energy. Does anybody else got anything they want to add? Crystal, do you on the chart? Does anybody else have anything to add on any of the cases? Denise, that case up there with you could do that. You could run an event chart August the 1st at 8 p.m. Do an event chart on that at the Beatrice Town Line Road. Is it Beatrice? Oh, Bracebridge, and you might be able to decipher what happened, and you could see what happened. Do the chart and let us know. You could post it to the group, and we could all look at it. With the fire, that's crazy. 29-year-old male who was wanted for murder. That's where they are. So you had you had 3 people unalived up there. I thought it was 2. That's crazy. That's all crazy. Yeah. Well, the I don't know what that is. Keith says Lionsgate portal. I don't know. I don't know what that is. If it does stuff with energy or what that is. I know people say with Lionsgate, it's Leo season, but it's not. I don't know what it has to do with the energy, but back the ancients it's with one fixed star. I forget which fixed star that the Egyptians used to look at during this time, because that's when the Nile would flood. But I don't know. Lionsgate, they say that because it's Leo, but it's kind of new age. I don't know what it does. Oh, you're welcome, Denise. I like the highlighter on your chart. Stands out nicely. I'm going to start highlighting them for you guys. I think that'll make it easier for you guys to be able to look at the chart. And then, of course, we've got the IC down at the bottom in the 4th house. That's the end of the matter. The IC is the lowest part of the chart. Hello, G-Hog. How are you, my friend? Thank you. How are you? Doing well? I'm glad you tuned in. Okay, Keith says energy portal open now for manifesting. Strongest on 8/8, then the moon on the 10th, I think. Yeah, the full moon's coming over the weekend, I think. Denise, I haven't read a lot about the incident up north, have just seen a bunch of posts about it. I'm telling you, we have to be very, very careful with, like I said, with this Neptune Saturn, and the lines went exactly to where that guy was. Neptune Saturn. So I think it has a lot to do with the mental energy that people that are not thinking clearly, that are not mentally stable, are getting triggered by something. I don't know what that something is. It could very well be energy. Very well could be energy, you guys. So just keep your eyes open. I don't know how long it'll last. I know things should start to calm down when Neptune gets into Pisces, but that's going to be a while. It's moving pretty slow. And Neptune and Saturn are together for a while. So, it's an adjustment. When these two big giants moved into Aries, like I said, they moved out. Mental illness is Neptune. It was in Pisces for 14 years. And it was dreamy. It was kicked back. It was laid back. And the minute it hit Aries, it fires people up. That's just my interpretation of it. I've not read that. I don't know. I'm actually guessing. But people are acting very impulsive and violent, and the lower vibration of Aries is just really coming out on mentally ill people. It's violent, it's impulsive. This was a crime of opportunity. Now, let's face it, this is not a big man, and he attacked a grown man and a woman with 2 children. Basically attacked 2 adults. That's triggered. There's something really wrong with this psycho. Hi, G. Hey, Joni, stuck in Texas, still for work. Electromagnetic fields play a major part with mental conditions. Cornyn helmet projects were the basis of that. I didn't know that. So, that could be it too. Thank you for that. I didn't know that. Crystal, we wouldn't know about what could have triggered the perp without seeing his birth chart, right? No. Yeah. Any drug use from him or prescribed meds, not that we're aware of. They are not saying anything about this guy. Lips are sealed. Arkansas is good at that. Arkansas doesn't talk much. Some police departments, we get the full scoop. They are not saying anything, any drug use or prescribed meds. Now, the guy in New York, they said there were medications in his car. The one that pow-powed up in New York City, carrying the big gun, the big pow-pow around down the streets of New York. And not one person called 911, and somebody's walking in downtown Manhattan in the business district, and people either have their heads in their phones, they're not paying attention, and nobody said, "There's a guy with a gun, everybody run." I would have screamed. How can somebody walk down downtown Manhattan with an AR? I don't get it. Plain as day. Antidepressants can really mess people up. Yeah, and if they're not taking them, And a lot of people, if they don't take the meds that they need, schizophrenics, they do need a lot. A lot of people need that kind of stuff. You know, it's crazy right now. We just be careful, be aware, because this energy's out there. And this is in BFE in the middle of a campground. Just be careful. Just be very, very alert. I think alert. Yeah, they're used to pals up there. Yeah, but they're not used to somebody walking down the street with an AR strapped to them. I would have noticed it. Just pay attention. Get your head out of your phone. Oh, I did see that one. I was just wondering how he just walked down the street like that. Denise saw that. That was in downtown Manhattan. Downtown Manhattan, straight up to the NFL offices. Crazy. Yeah. That's another one that kind of dropped off the news media very quickly. Really weird when they drop off like that. It makes you go, what? Neptune's playing with my brain. What? Why is that one not getting any coverage? So, but next week we're going to take a look at the incident that occurred in Tennessee, and that was 4 people. That was 4 people, and they just caught him yesterday. He was on the run for a week, but somebody alert called the police, saw him walking down the street. So, well, you guys, open carry is legal in Nebraska. Well, in Nebraska, it would be okay. Kentucky, it is too. But New York, you can't. No, New York, you can't. It's a no zone. You can't carry them in New York. Here, you can see them in their pockets. Makes me feel safe. I feel safer seeing them. I'd rather be in an open carry state. I like it. I'm safe because people that open carry, but this guy was walking down the street in the middle of Manhattan. No. Yikes. Well, you guys have a great week. Pay attention. Don't have your head in the phones. Pay very close attention to everything that's going on around us because it's just weird. Very weird. Next week, I'm gonna do the case that occurred that they caught. It was in Tennessee, and I kept texting Rue because she's in Tennessee, and I'm like, they haven't caught him yet. Keep your eyes open. So, but they finally did. So, you guys be safe. Have a great week. Thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. I appreciate it. Have a super week. Go get a lottery ticket. Venus and Jupiter are together right now, so go get a lottery ticket. This is one of the luckiest transits of the year. Now, get lottery tickets, you guys. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys next weekend. Have a great weekend. Thanks, everybody. Be safe. Be safe. I'll see you next week. Thanks.